Sitting in different places tonight.
Yes, we are. At least for right now. I'm sure Guru will join us shortly.
Yeah, he's just dealing with something anyway. How are you doing tonight, Bruce?
I am wonderful. I hate Thanksgiving's over. It's my most favorite time of the year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as it comes, it has to go.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I had a blast. It was just good times all around. How about yourself?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I didn't, we didn't, it wasn't a huge family event, but we enjoyed it.
So. I love Thanksgiving. The thing I don't like about Thanksgiving time is the Black Friday or now the Black Thursday, since they all seem to be.
Yeah, I know.
I think Walmart was open at like 6 or 8 or something ridiculous.
4 p.m.
4.
And they were serving coffee and crumpets. No, I'm just kidding. Cookies and coffee.
Yeah, I just.
Then I think the deal started at 6. But I got a funny story about that. So Wednesday night, I say it's funny, haha. The online store opened on Wednesday evening because there was a couple of things that were going to come right away, and I wanted to get them. Well, apparently the deals were delayed, like not delayed, but they were time sensitive.
Yeah.
So the whole thing started like at 9 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
And one of the items right away went on, but the other item I needed was 2 hours later. I had to stay up till 11 p.m. to even start to order it.
Did you get it?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. There's never a doorbuster that I'm like, oh, wow.
Oh, this was worth it.
What was it? Can you tell?
No, I can't.
Oh, man.
I'll tell you later.
Because then they'll know.
Yes.
Well, I will tell you, there was one doorbuster. Granted, like, I did not buy it. Because thankfully, someone in my household has a PS4 and Red Dead Redemption 2. But they had for Cyber Monday, I think it was Walmart, had a PS4 with Red Dead Redemption 2 for $199.
Wow.
It was gone in 26 seconds. All 300 units sold.
Really?
Yeah, at least that was the last time I checked. Because actually, probably when it went on sale, Ted said something to me. He said, hey, they've got this. I said, oh, that's a really good deal. Like,
yeah,
that's amazing. And in fact, the article, which I guess I need to put in the show notes.
Sure.
By the time they reported on it, it was already gone.
Wow.
So the reporters didn't even have time to write it before it was gone. So, but I think 300. Granted, that was they had to be losing money on that. That was a really good deal. Like a really good deal. So
sounds like my son already has a PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I would think 300 though. That's for Walmart. They could have had more than that. That seems kind of. I don't know. Seems like they could have done better.
Jeez. Do you want it for 200?
No, I'm saying they could have had more than 300 units.
Oh, I apologize.
It was $200.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood.
So I'm saying it's like, in 26 seconds.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But I will say, just there's people that love it. They enjoy doing that. That's the part that they like about the season.
Yeah, I'm not a big shopper. We ended up going Friday. I took my wife because I'm that kind of guy. On Friday for a little while over to the outlets at Leeds and Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah,
and
I remember you sending some texts. And I was like, man, like at least you went later in the day. I was like, at least you're not forcing somebody to not be with their family on Thanksgiving.
Nah, that wouldn't happen.
Just that bothers me about these stores. It's like, man, don't mess with people in their family time. Like, I just, it's really tough. It's like, I don't want to support you, but I really don't have many other places I can turn to go get what I need the rest of the part of the year.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't buy on Black Friday, I guess.
Well, this year I have told myself I'm going to try to get it all done earlier than I normally do.
Yeah.
In the past, and there may be one or two items, but in the past I've sort of waited till I gotten off from the university and then I'll go out and shop.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to try something different.
I kind of look for stuff throughout the year.
Yeah. Yeah. That does work.
It works.
It can. You're right. I mean, in some instances we do that, but I'm
Yeah.
particularly talking about something from my
I
wife.
gotta know what this was.
I'll tell you about it later.
All right.
And I'm not going to tell you right.
But it was totally worth it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think you can get in other places. The problem is I was concerned you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
It's a particularly hot item this year. And it's not that it's not other years, but and I could be totally mistaken. There might be more of them out there than I
Is the
think.
Tickle Me Elmo back?
Yeah, how did you guess? That's what she's been wanting. Dadgummit. It's the second generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first gen was just not as powerful as the second gen. This one really tickles.
Well, I was actually listening to a podcast, and it was about Black Friday, and
Really?
it's kind of a relatively new phenomenon. It's not something
What?
that, it's not something that's really been around that long. And the whole, this is the time of the year that the stores go in the black and in the red. That is totally false. Where that originated from? That is not where that originated from. But I'm not going to tell you the whole. You can go listen to that podcast. You're listening to ours right now.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to know that, because I'd always heard that. I never believed it, but I was like, that can't be right. Because that if store's not going in the black until just now, they probably don't need to be in business.
Well, that could be. By the way, welcome to the Hey Techies show. We appreciate you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have had a great Thanksgiving. By the way, just to bring you up to speed, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks won.
Okay,
they won Saturday.
And who did they play?
They played East Tennessee State.
That's right.
Yes, and they beat them. And for a while there was touch and go, but they finally pulled away from East Tennessee State, and now they go up to the lovely state of Maine
to play the Bears.
They've got to play the Black Bears.
That is the team on NCAA 2012
that
had the worst stats.
Well, let's hope that's the case for the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. But yeah, so they play Saturday, the 1st, December 1st, man, Saturday.
How about that?
And they'll play, I think that's 11 a.m. start local time, or our time. I think that's correct.
I will be throwing a birthday party.
Well, that's right. That's true. And you see, that's for...
I'm pretty sure it's for Adriana.
Adriana, yeah. Okay.
I think it's going to be Saturday.
No.
Even though her birthday's the next day, but...
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure it's Saturday.
I'll have to tell Rachel that Adriana's birthday is Sunday.
I'm surprised she didn't get an invite.
Who knows with our crazy house? I might not even check the mail. Who knows?
I think it may have all been on Facebook. Which
I don't do. See, there we go.
I have no idea.
I got to be honest.
No, maybe that was something else.
I got to be honest.
I don't know.
I have been. I sort of removed myself
from Facebook,
from technology in general during the break for the most part. I pulled myself back, except for the few texting things back and forth with some friends. I really did. I didn't get on social media. I did some little.
I never do that. So I'm there with you.
Yeah, I did some Instagram stuff, but
didn't do that.
Yeah, put some pictures up on the gram. But other than that, I just didn't. I told myself I wanted to do that. Besides of us meeting on Monday and having the Hey Techie show last week, I was mostly down from anything.
Yeah, I'll say my laptop stayed in my bag. I didn't get on my computer.
I got my iPad out to do some general watching.
Yeah, I had to do some work for about 20 or 30 minutes. I had to do a report, read it, turn it in. I think I checked on some grades and stuff.
Okay.
But other than that, the only technology that I did was I played a lot of Red Dead. And man, I'll tell you what, I've got to figure out time just in regular life to play.
You're going to have to say that again. You played a lot of what?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, okay.
It's a video game.
Yeah, I know that. I've heard of it.
Man, it's so good. And I was up till 3:30 one morning, and I was sitting there thinking, I work so hard and I enjoy this so much. Like, I've got to find time during just, regular week, not when I'm necessarily on vacation or have time off, but to just make this a normal part of my everyday, because it was so enjoyable. And that's what life is all about. Is just enjoying things. especially video games. So it is a beautiful game. If you haven't, if you're waiting till maybe the Christmas break because you have uh, finals coming up, definitely wait.
So that's a multiplayer game. Is that correct? So you got to.
Oh no, man! It's
I'm sorry. You know I don't. I'm not a gamer.
I'll show you a video.
Well, why do I have to do that? You could
All
just explain it
our
real
people.
quick.
I mean, so think of like late 1800s, Old West. You're an outlaw. Free roam play. Of course, there's missions and stories and stuff like that. So it's by the same people that make Grand Theft Auto from
Oh,
Rockstar. But it's just beautiful scenery in the game. Just the gameplay. At first, it feels like how the crap am I going to remember all these button combinations? Not really combinations, but just how whatever controls everything. But then after like I don't know about 5 minutes, it's very just fluid. It just makes sense. Um,
okay.
so
So
man,
in a related
a
thing to
lot of
that,
fun.
Esports Stadium, Arlington opens.
Yeah,
Sold out crowd inaugural event. Dallas Fort
man,
Worth.
that's gonna be the hit place. Where's it at? Dallas Fort.
Arlington, Texas.
Oh,
Dallas Fort Worth. Yeah.
okay.
It let's see. It was
Have to go visit some
according
family out
if
there.
this was November 24th, so the largest venue dedicated to esports in North America opened its doors this past weekend.
How big is it?
Well, let's see. I'm trying to get to that.
Okay,
Mayor
sorry.
Bruce, the City Convention Center transformed into Esports Stadium Arlington, falling right into place with AT&T Stadium and Globe Life Park. I guess it's over there with where
Okay, so
the
it's
Cowboys play. Somewhere over in there.
I
Don't
gotta see a picture of
see. Let's
this.
see. The league is structured like businesses of traditional sports. There are 20 teams across North America and Europe. That talks about the league. I'm trying. It doesn't really say what the crowd was. I don't see that listed.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, it looked like
I wonder if they're going to start trying to pull some
Okay,
of the
so here,
venue stuff at
maybe
Vegas.
this gives a little explanation. This I don't see the person that they're regarding here, but they quote here is my dream is to pack this house out every weekend to expand and grow this venue to a 20 to 60,000 seat venue.
So it's what, maybe 5,000, 10,000?
Yeah,
Well, I guess I'm looking at some of the concept art on this because it's huge on some of this stuff. I'm like, man, that's a lot of seats.
but I really don't. It just said they set a sold out audience. It doesn't
Well, I'll
really.
say I went to the one in the Luxor and it was pretty neat.
Yeah.
It was not as big as what the pictures I'm looking at for the one in Texas, but it was pretty neat.
Yeah. So anyway, well, when the Hey Techie show returns, we will dig into our stories now that the guru has made it into the studio, and we're excited about that. So,
And we'll take your calls.
Hey Techie Show, be right back. I mean, ain't nobody watching that.
Welcome back in to the Hey Techies, I guess, sort of Christmas show. We got some Christmas music kicking.
Sure, we'll start up Christmas. We've had Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I have to apologize to our listeners and to you, Bruce and Michael, for my tardiness to the show tonight.
You were late?
No, we didn't even know. We didn't notice. I mean, it was so smooth transition.
It was a smooth transition.
Whatever.
If you watch the video, it's like madness while Bruce is sitting there like vamping for us so we can get everybody in place.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm glad to be with y'all tonight.
It's episode sweater vest.
It is.
Sweaters
and vest.
Sweater vest.
Yeah.
How about that?
I've already got one picked out for tomorrow.
I had totally planned on changing and riding my bike up here, but
it's too cold.
You rode your what down?
I planned on it.
Did you ride your bike to work today?
No.
I was about to say.
Did not have time.
Did not have time.
Yeah, I came in here on 2 wheels, except they were 4
Oh,
wheels.
I thought you meant you didn't ride your bike to work because you didn't have time.
No, I didn't ride it here.
Oh, okay.
He didn't switch.
Yeah,
didn't switch his clothing there.
So
you look very very dressy.
I guess work clothes.
It is.
So there is a glitch.
Oh gosh.
A
no.
vulnerability even
Call somebody.
in Gmail.
In Gmail? Oh, I thought you were going to say Microsoft. Everybody else has been saying Microsoft.
Well, we'll get to that. Do we need to? Hey, guess what? Microsoft messed up again.
Yeah, well, anyway, in Gmail, really?
Yeah, enables anonymous messages and phishing attacks. So this
I missed that. With all the junk I've been reading, I missed that story.
I think this came out. Well, no, it came out the 20th.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's why I missed it.
So, anyways, software developer Tim Cotton discovered a glitch in Gmail where he could basically, in the from field, input some extra things and make it blank. So then you could title your subject whatever you wanted. You could say important Google account security notice, and make it look rather legitimate since there's nobody in the from, and I would say even somebody that's very wary of things might be duped. I do not see where Google has said that they have fixed this.
Well, I would hope so.
Just they said that Google has not responded to a request for comment.
Of course not.
And they have not updated this article to know if there is one.
The article that I don't have.
I am getting it to you.
Good one, Michael.
You ever notice it? Guru, I don't know if you noticed this, but in our show notes things where he's doing a great job of putting this in, it's always in bold.
I don't know why.
He wants to stand out.
Oh, hey.
No, he's putting it in an area in our show notes that is
it's because I just
got bold.
Start from the top and I just go enter this text.
It's okay.
I'm like, there's all my notes.
It reminds me so much of this.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Is it bold still?
Yeah.
Are the notes in there?
Yeah, they are.
Is it? Do you see it?
Yeah, I got
That's
it.
not doing
okay,
anything.
smart Alec, I got
Oh, there we go.
it.
Well, I will make sure bold is off in the future.
It's not a big deal. I was just being facetious.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Oh. So yeah, do we want to talk about Windows 10 and their latest update?
Well, we can. There's just so much to talk about. I mean, I'm
tired of Windows. Can I just say that? I'm tired of it. I'm tired. Tired of Windows.
Well, it's like a love-hate relationship because you have to have it.
Well, you don't have to.
Well,
but I wanted to support you in this too. Oh. You don't have to have it, but dang it, you have to have it.
That's right.
I mean, that's really the gist of it. Is dang it, you have to have it, but you don't have to have it. But yeah, you do have to have it.
The whole world switched to Apple. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
that would not be a good thing.
Have same problems.
So
different platform.
Don't lose that thought because we're going to talk about Apple. Man, some big news about them today. I just have no idea where this antitrust a lawsuit's going to end up. I mean, I'm curious. It's going to be unbelievable to me. And of course,
I have not had a chance to read
I've
up
read
on
it, buddy.
So
I've read
it.
it.
I want you to fill us in later.
I've read it, and
I
I'm
think
telling
it's
you,
pretty
just
cut and clear.
I can't say that. I'm not sure what you're talking. Are you talking about all of it's cut and clear, or you?
I think it's clear cut that they're going to have to allow you the ability to install third-party apps.
See, that's terrible. I think that we're fixing to go down a really dark hole. This is a bad hole. Let me tell you. Okay, fine.
It is not the responsibility.
I agree with you. I'm afraid that's where we're going. My fear is that everything's going to be Windows. Yeah, because that's Windows' big problem with why they even admitted to this. And that's what I was going to say in the article I've got. They've even admitted they've admitted that they're so variety packed. They're so the range is so large. It's impossible. It's near impossible to put out a release without any kind of major bug now.
So what all I'm saying is that Apple can allow, just like you can in Android, to go in and say allow third-party apps.
No, you can't do that in iOS.
I know you
he
can't.
knows.
I'm saying
they're going to end up having to.
That's going, in my opinion, that's going to be a bad thing.
I agree.
I don't think so.
Well, no, I know you don't.
Well, no. I think Apple can do it and say we do not support third-party installations. They don't have to. They can say we don't. We're not guaranteed that these work. It can be off by default and give you an option to turn it on, and warn you of the dangers of doing so.
But it's going to be rampant with
naturally
with
no
adware, malware.
Naturally, the market will take care of itself, and people will stay away from it.
I agree with you, Michael. That's
what everybody says. The market will take care of it. Let the consumer decide.
I do agree with that in some instances, but that's in instances when there's a market. See, Apple has their own market. You're not going.
That's the monopoly. Is that they have the market, only market. They don't allow anybody else to install. Period. Without going through them.
You can go buy a different phone.
You could have made the same argument back when Windows had put Internet Explorer on their OS.
Well, they did make that.
You can put a different OS.
Now, see, I don't agree with that either.
Browser.
You can, and I still think that was fine. I don't have, but most people do.
Yeah.
Microsoft did not win out on that either way.
But you cannot say that. Think of how much money Apple makes just off the App Store because they are the sole monopolistic controller of that App Store.
How much developers make though?
Well,
okay, this is a great question because here we go.
But they have to use it.
Listen, here we go. That's one of the arguments that the developers are passing the 30% down to the consumer. This is one of the rubs.
Yeah.
What the consumers are saying is that the developers did not have to pay 30% Apple, then the apps would automatically be 30% cheaper. I don't agree with that statement.
I don't think that's
well, that
accurate.
is what they're saying. It could be that in and of itself is anti-competition.
No, there's cost associated with keeping the App Store running, processing payments, all that. If you have a problem with an app, you go to Apple to report it, and they handle it from a customer service perspective.
But that's not the problem.
There is a cost.
Problem.
That's part of the 30%. There's a cost associated with that.
Yeah, but that's not.
And Apple is having to bear that burden, so they do take a 30%.
No, they're not having to bear that burden. They chose to.
bear that burden. Agreed.
They chose to be the only one that's allowed to bear that burden.
I don't dispute those.
That's the problem.
But here's the thing. Now, hang on a minute. I've said this before on the show. We can go back and find it in the archives.
Okay.
Apple, they are the sole controller of apps on their device.
Monopoly. Okay.
No, I'm not. I didn't say that.
That's the definition.
But the apps They go through a vetting process to make sure that they're
Sure, they can still do that. For the Apple App Store, if I wanted to open up Drew's App Store, if people want to download from it, they can.
But Apple can no longer vet those apps before they go to the App Store.
Okay, it's not their App Store. What you're saying is I can't even have my own store.
But in order to ensure quality and that there's for security's sake and other things,
that's what all monopolies say.
Is it goes through their App Store. It goes through their process of vetting the app, and you submit an app to and Google Play, or you go outside of their App Store. They don't have the security.
They don't have it inside their
That's
app store.
fine.
I know
500,000 downloaded.
I'm just gonna mark it.
Apps that were malware.
If
in
Drew
Google Play.
or if
Recently,
Bob or whoever can open an app store, it's going to make that platform less secure.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
If that happens, it.
I totally agree.
It will. It's not going to be good for. It's not going to be good for consumers in general.
I disagree.
Whether you use Apple devices or not.
I think what I'm saying is I think it will make the issue that they have a monopoly a non-issue because people won't use
it. So you want to give up your security?
You're not giving up security.
You will.
No, if I choose to
now
go to that market.
That is one reason
I will give it up.
That is one reason I don't have an Android device. They're less secure.
I disagree.
I don't agree with you.
Well, they are just as insecure as anything else.
I know what Guru is saying is, but here again, as we've said on this show 100,000 times, this all goes back to the person with the fingers using the device.
That I agree with.
I mean, that is a true statement.
I don't care what antivirus you put on it. It does not protect you from you. And we've said that before 100,000 times on this show.
But you're missing the issue. You're missing the issue.
No.
Yes, you're missing the issue. You say, well, no, it's got to be, it's got to go through that store because it makes it more secure.
So let's just say
that's not the issue. The issue is that they are the only ones that are allowed to have the App Store. They have the monopoly over who gets in and who doesn't.
Well, let me go from this angle. So you do like Android does, and you give some option to allow apps outside the App Store. You can do that today on Android.
Yeah.
Let's say Apple was forced to do that, or they chose to do that.
Okay.
I just wonder how many people would turn that option, change the setting to allow that.
Very many people would.
I beg to differ. I think people would do it. Oh, look at this cool thing you do, but you got to do this. And they'll just follow the steps of some YouTube video or some website, not knowing the implications because your average consumer is not aware of the implications of doing that. You and I, the three of us in this room, understand the implications.
Sure.
We hope our listeners do, but the average consumer.
I don't think the average consumer will go in there and turn off. You know why?
You
know why?
Why?
Because they don't do it for Android. The average consumer does not do it.
I think there's more than you think.
No, I would say 90. I bet you there's not more than 5% of Android users.
Well, that's because they can't update their OS to anything else that would be relevant to do that.
What I'm saying is,
that's a whole nother issue.
I guarantee you, there's no more than 5%.
There's a lot more than 5%.
Prove it.
Okay, so I got another theory.
I guarantee
I got something else tied to this too. Let me ask you a question, and you're going to disagree with me with this already.
All right.
Okay, let's just for an example, because I'm going to just use this person example. Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen decides he doesn't want to make any more albums anymore.
Okay.
Doesn't want to sing, doesn't want to do anything.
Sure.
Is that not a monopoly? You can only get his voice from Bruce Springsteen. You want his voice, you want to hear his music, you can only get it from him. You want something new.
No, that's a logical fallacy. That is a logical
Well, maybe
fallacy.
so, but we're going to go down this road where nothing can be its own.
The opposite, we're going to go the opposite road where you let Apple have complete control over their app store that nobody can get it. Why can't we as Microsoft only allow people to download software through our app store?
What? Microsoft has an app store?
Yes, they do. But I'm saying,
I didn't know.
And it doesn't even have to be software. It could be anything. You are allowing a monopoly. You are allowing it. You were saying that is your only option. That is your only option.
If you buy
that
an
is
iPhone.
A monopoly. If you buy an iPhone, sure.
Okay.
What other product?
Okay, so
what other product?
So what about the Mac OS system? Mac OS,
Okay.
the operating
I
system.
can go buy software off the shelf and install it. That's why it's a non-issue.
You can't
You can.
put it on non-Mac stuff very well. It's very
Oh,
complicated.
non-Mac.
Oh,
It's complicated to run the Mac OS on anything but a Mac. I mean, would this not have ripples down? They'll have to make that available to go work on other
no.
PC products. Why
No.
not?
That would be like saying
That's a monopoly.
This car part only goes. No, that's not a monopoly.
Why not? You can
God.
you
have so many logical fallacies there.
You can only use this on Mac hardware. I have to pay $2,000 to use this nice software I want to use.
I'm going to say this. I'm not trying to put a bow in this, but I'm going to put a bow in it, and so we can.
That's much more fun.
Sure.
This way.
No,
It is fun.
the only people that are going to win here are the lawyers.
It's true. But all I'm saying,
that's the only people who will win.
Explain
in this
to
whole
me
thing.
how it's not a monopoly.
I didn't say it wasn't, but
So then you're saying it's okay to have a monopoly.
I think in some instances it can be, not in everything. Because
then who gets to decide?
Well, I understand that. I'm not saying that
Who has
I'm
the
not
most money?
saying that
Who has
I
the most
didn't
money?
say
The
I had the
the
most
monopoly?
perfect answer. I'm explaining the way I see it. What I'm
Sure.
saying is that there are other options.
Sure.
Many of these apps are available in other stores for other type devices. Not every one of them, but many of them are. There are some that aren't. They only work on iOS. The person only wanted to make it for iOS. They wanted to port it for iOS. Very few are only ported to Android. A very few. There's 12 that are for Microsoft Store only. I don't know.
For the 14 people that have
for the 14 people that have that. But I mean, I grant your points.
I absolutely think they have a monopoly.
Well, that's fine. I get it.
And they should, all you're saying is allow another app store. You're not saying allow another app store to be successful. They're not saying that store has to be successful. Allow free market.
You are one to talk. Allow free market. It's hilarious. The flip of the coin.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all preach this all the time.
You say free market,
but it won't be.
It's not a free market.
It is too.
No, you're not allowed to put your stuff on my device unless you go through me.
Well, you can go through them.
No, unless you go through me and you pay up.
Well, but that
sounds kind of mob mentality, if you ask me.
Yeah, but they wrote the software.
Hey, I paid.
They have the device.
You want these? You want to go through these streets? You got to pay up.
Well, there's when you go to the grocery store, and I know this from my previous life working in retail. Some of the products on the shelf, they're serviced and stocked and brought in by the company, like Coca-Cola, Frito-Lay.
Yeah,
I can start naming them. A lot of your alcohol vendors, and you have to go through us. And these big box stores can't buy it themselves and put it on the shelf. They have to go through them. So
yeah, but name the one grocery store that has the market share that Apple does.
There's several that come to mind.
No. If there's several, then they're not a monopoly.
Well, Walmart's the nation's largest grocer. They have more grocery stores than and more sales.
But at what percentage?
I don't know.
Do you know who the next biggest is?
I don't know that.
Kroger. And they own a lot.
But still, but your point is along the same lines.
No, it's not. Because if I want to go to Walmart, say I got a carrot. Got carrots.
I can't win this. I can't win this.
You can't, because they have a monopoly. You said it yourself. Let the free market reign.
See, this is the kind of fun we have on the Techies show. 256-782-5600. Be right back.
Welcome back into the Hey Techies show.
The Hey Argument Show. I'm having a ball of fun tonight.
It
I'll
is
tell you that right
fun.
now. It
It is
is.
a lot of fun. I'm saying
I know what you're saying.
the Apple Store is solid. They have proven that they are the safest marketplace. I will give you that. They are the
Ooh.
safest market. Apple phones are safer.
Mark
Mark
this
it.
time in the show.
I've said that plenty of
Michael,
times.
pull that snippet out.
I've
We gotta
said
say
that plenty of times. The other one was me just pulling your chain. No, what I'm saying is that I think you will have a subset of people that say, you know what, I do want to go out here. I've got this choice. They're going to find it's not as good of a product as far as the store goes, but they should not be the only person allowed to have a store. That is what they are doing.
They're not the only one to have a store. Now, you can't.
They are the only one to have an Apple App Store.
Yes, that's correct. But they're not the only one to have an app store, nor are they the only one to have a phone and an OS.
Yeah, but they are the only one that's allowed to have a store for their product. I guarantee you would have a different opinion.
The product.
I guarantee you'd have a different opinion if it was this logo, this Windows logo that they were saying only through our store.
They make the product.
You can only buy our hardware through our store, which I know you can't with Apple, but you used to. That used to be the only place you could buy it was through Apple.
What hardware?
All their hardware.
Well, but at the end result, you're getting it from Apple. I mean, they make it. They manufacture. If they did manufacture it, you wouldn't have it.
But what I'm saying is that they don't manufacture the app.
I understand that.
And that's my point. You're saying I cannot make software unless I go through you.
That's because they have the store.
Oh my God. That's the point. They're the only one that's allowed to have the store.
I agree, but it's on.
Thank you. We agree. Moving on.
Thank goodness.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not belaboring that point.
They
just
should not be the only one allowed to have a store.
They're not the only one allowed to have a store, an app store. They're only one to
have an Apple App Store.
Okay, there you go.
Stores for Apple.
Start buzzing,
apps for Apple.
I already even forgot how this started. Guru's trying to eat it on a buzzard.
You think the worst is going to happen, that there's going to be 1 million of these app stores, which there probably will be, but they will just be sitting there that no one will use. You will have whatever app they're still going to put in the app store because they still want the exposure, because that's where people are going to go.
Here's the thing I think will happen.
But they should not be allowed to be the only.
This is early, although I do think that Bruce is onto something, probably right about what will go down. No, I'm talking about in this. I think that quite likely the SCOTUS will allow the lawsuits to go through.
I think they'll go through, yeah, and they'll be heard.
Well,
whoever argues it the best will win.
Well, no, what I'm
or the loudest.
No, what I'm saying is that right now right now there is still a possibility that they might say that individuals can't sue them over that. See, that's what this lawsuit's about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
See, before the court right now is whether there is legal authority that they should be allowed to sue over this. See, that's what's before the court, not whether or not Apple is an antitrust, or that's not what's before the court. That's a whole nother conversation in other lawsuits. The current issue is, they were talking about a 1977 ruling, which basically said that only the person hurt by antitrust could actually sue, not a person who was paying more for, I don't have the right wording, I'm butchering it, but paying more for costs given back to them. Yeah. Down the line.
They're hurt by it, right? In a way.
But how?
They're having to pay
but
more.
You don't know whether you're hurt by it. See what the plaintiffs are saying is that if they want to do it that way, the concern is that the ones that are supposedly hurt by it are the app creators, and because they have such a good deal with Apple in all good graces, they will hold on. Let me finish.
Okay.
Well, because
I've just never thought 30% was a good deal.
Yeah, but $500 is better than $4.
I know, I agree.
Okay. So my point is, if they're making money, if their pockets, if they're being fed, they're not going to rock the boat on something that most of them are not going to rock the boat on saying, well, I'm hurt. Well, if you don't have enough of them to do that, you're not going to be able to prove that there's enough app developers that are hurt, is all I'm saying. The plaintiffs are saying that we don't want this to have to be that the only people hurt are the app developers, because we don't think they'll sue. We don't think enough of them will want to rock the boat.
Sure.
So that's where it's at.
There is no telling how many app developers, their livelihood has been made and is being made.
My understanding,
that's what I'm saying.
Developing apps for the App Store.
If you allow another store, that issue of them being the only store goes away.
So we've had this argument, but let me step back.
All right.
Let me step back. While I've been arguing that point and believing it. Yeah, that too.
He's a believer.
Yeah, I'm a believer. Not Beaver. But
that too, Buzzer.
Believering. God, I can't even say that word today. Anyway, what I'm getting at is
blubber.
Yeah, blubber. Shut up. Now I forgot.
Oh wow.
What I'm getting at today is that
you flustered him, Bruce.
No, I had it and I've lost it. What I'm talking about is that the thought process that whether they're antitrust or rather whether they're a monopoly is not the discussion here. The discussion
for that,
yes, but that might not necessarily
be.
But
I made it about.
I know
they have a monopoly.
But I know, but that's not. That's only part of the original lawsuit. They're trying to go at it from an antitrust perspective.
I don't trust them.
Hold on. That the consumer is being hurt in some way. Now, you said you believe that. The problem is it's before the court of whether or not that they have a legal right to sue based on that. That they've got to decide whether the consumer really is hurt.
Yeah, so that I don't know. I can't give an opinion on that.
So I don't know.
But I do say they have a monopoly.
Well, the Chief Justice, from what I understand,
undeniably, y'all both said they have a monopoly.
The Chief Justice, from what I understand, a lot of his questions were leading people, and this isn't always true, leading people to believe that he was against the lawsuits moving forward. However, Kavanaugh was asking questions based on that he might be considering that he is for the lawsuits to go through. So there's a lot of differing opinions on the court, and be interesting to see how. That's
why I got 9 people up there.
Well, they don't. They got one out right now. You know, she's not there.
That's
Ruth.
Right. Yeah, Ruth Ginsburg.
Yeah, so she fell. So that'll be interesting how that plays out.
But there's a reason we have a Supreme Court with different people in there. I mean,
I know we've taken up a lot of time here, but it's a big tech story. I mean, I know Bruce thinks I'm wrong, and which is fine. I'm glad to have that argument, but
you agreed with me. They have a monopoly.
No, I know, but you think you're saying that this won't cause a big ripple, and I disagree. I disagree. Hold on, Chris. Hold on, Guru. You really got me flustered now. Hold on, Guru. I'll let you finish. I think that given the decision one way or the other, there will be a ripple from this one way or the other.
I agree with that.
There's going to be a ripple one way or the other. Go ahead, Guru. I'm sorry.
It's not the fact that they have a monopoly.
Because they do.
They don't.
You said earlier.
I said
flip-flop. No, both of you said.
I didn't say he said.
If I want a smartphone or some sort of smartphone, tablet, whatever, where I can install third-party apps, I don't have to get an iPhone. There are other choices.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
There's other choices.
Sure.
Enough said.
There's other choices for a browser too. That's all I'm saying. Don't seem to.
But nobody but a few people even think about that anymore. I mean, you're bringing that up, but I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just saying in the general speaking, nobody cares about whether Internet Explorer is on there or not, or do they have any other choice.
Well, I'm offended because Edge is on Windows 10.
Yeah.
And
you don't see what I'm saying?
Everyone should be.
Well, that may be the case.
But am I going to?
Hey, it's my gateway to get Chrome and Firefox.
Google.
But at least I can go to them to get it. Anyways,
yeah.
More about evil corporations. We're going to talk about.
You got 3
Yeah,
minutes or so.
that's Bruce for you.
Comcast raises cable TV bills again.
Oh my
Even
God.
if you're under a contract, because in their contract they can change it at any time, but you can't. So broadcast TV
that's a
fees.
great deal for the consumer.
Yeah, tell me, it's like they have a monopoly.
They do.
Broadcast TV.
They have a franchise
Yeah,
agreement.
fee goes from $8 to $10, and sports fees rise from $6.50 to $18.25.
What's this franchise fee? Well, I mean,
I didn't say franchise. I said broadcast TV fee goes
Oh.
from $8 to $10, and sports fees rise from $6.50 to $18.25.
wow.
So that brings, for just your, I guess, basic cable package, somewhere around $20 for
increase.
broadcast TV and
$20 more, correct?
yeah. So newly raised broadcast TV will be $10 a month, and sports fees $8.25 a month. A year ago, Comcast raised the broadcast TV fee from $6.50 to $8 a year ago, and in another year they raised it another. And sports fees from $4.50 to $6.50. The new price hikes will take effect in most Comcast regional markets beginning January 1st, whether you're under a contract or not. And equipment fee rental fees are going up too, from $10 to $11. And the new price for internet voice equipment rental fee is $13.
Hey, who has Comcast around here?
Gadsden, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so out of the
Gadsden.
cable per se. Air quotes on that. I don't know.
Cord cutter, you.
Well, I'm really not
Oh, I
that.
know.
I'm just a reduced cord cutter.
But yeah.
Reduced down to the
But I
minimum.
was gonna say part of this too is that
You've
there's
crimped the cord.
a
Yeah,
petition.
crimp the cord. Yeah,
There's
I'm
a
I'm
petition
cord
for
crimper.
cable fee transparency, and I think there should be transparency in all your bills.
Yeah, I agree. Especially your power bill.
I agree.
Sorry.
You can go and I
Oh,
know with
funny about
Alabama
that.
Power, you can go and look at exactly how many kilowatts you used.
Oh, I,
every day.
I like their app where it shows you the graph in relation to the temperature and all that.
I want to know though. I've just got to get everybody in my house stop touching the thermostat. Like I got it set to 66 right now. If I go
It's
down,
cold.
Yeah, it is
Man.
cold.
Sounds like
Wow.
my house.
I try to keep it that way, but somehow it goes up to 68 and 70 and then 72, and I'm like, oh, it's so hot.
Have you got one of those Nest thermostats?
So now remember, I moved and I've not installed one yet because
You got
I'm-
this traditional.
traditional. So I'm seeing how it goes. I'm going to do that for a year, and then I'm going to compare with the Nest. So I'm waiting till I'm in there a year.
Okay.
So I have data to go with. It's been tough. And my wife's like, when are you going to put a Nest? I'm so tired of this
When
thing.
we've been here a year.
Yeah, I was like, well, we've been here a year. I almost bought one. I almost went in and bit the bullet. I was like, nope. I need more data.
Need more data. I hear
So
you.
what were those rates on Comcast? They raised them how much?
A bunch of money.
Hold
For
on.
no
put it in the
reason.
show notes. If there's no reason, just because they want more money.
And
Because
put-
more people are cutting.
And what gets me, you're under contract and they still did it.
Yeah.
And
Broadcast
what
TV
do
goes
you-
from 8 to 10.
and what do you do if you're a
Sport-
customer under contract? Well, I'm not going to pay it. Well, you have to.
Yeah, you have to.
That's just kind of that's a bad deal.
They can breach the contract. You can't. They can change the terms. You can.
And so you're saying they didn't give a reason for the
in
the
this
raised
article, they
rates.
did not. So, but it's this article, and it's Ars Technica. They're usually pretty good. I will give them that. But they didn't actually say.
Okay.
Just they continue to make investments.
Our dose right around the corner. And the Hey Techies show will be back.
Our news in Washington. I'm Jack Speer. Special counsel Robert Mueller says former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort has breached his plea deal. NPR's Carrie Johnson reports the government says Manafort lied to the FBI.
Paul Manafort pleaded guilty to 2 conspiracy charges in September and agreed to provide full and truthful cooperation to the government. Instead, in a new court filing, the special counsel team says Manafort has committed new crimes by lying to prosecutors in the FBI in recent weeks. Government lawyers provided no details about the alleged lies, but said they would share more information with the judge who will sentence him. For his part, Manafort says he met with authorities many times to try to live up to his part of the deal. He says he believes he told the truth. Now, Judge Amy Berman Jackson in Washington, D.C. will have the last word when she decides on Manafort's punishment. Carrie Johnson, NPR News, Washington.
After a 6-month journey, NASA's Mars InSight spacecraft touched down without incident today. Flight controllers say InSight used descent engines and a parachute to slow its progress through the atmosphere, landing on a flat Martian plain where it will begin setting up experiments, including drilling beneath the planet's surface. Michael Watkins is director of the Jet Propulsion Lab in Pasadena.
In the coming months and years even, the history books will be rewritten about the interior of Mars. I personally have to say the first day, the landing day, and these first couple of pictures of a place no human has ever seen before also remind us that in order to do science, we have to be bold.
NASA last landed on Mars in 2012 with the deployment of the Curiosity rover. InSight will do a number of geological experiments over the course of what scientists hope will be a 2-year mission. General Motors' restructuring plans include shedding some 14,000 jobs. The announcement drawing reaction today from workers and from the White House. Michigan Public Radio, Tracy Samilton reports GM wants to wind down operations at 5 plants in the U.S. and Canada.
GM's stock soared as investors took the news as a sign the automaker is preparing for the next downturn. But it was a shock to workers. Randy Sandusky is retirees chairman at UAW Local 22, which represents 1,400 workers at the Detroit Hamtramck assembly plant.
It's devastating to people. 1,400 jobs is a lot of jobs. And this plant has been living on the edge for a little bit anyway, as far as not having only but one shift.
Other big plants on the list include Lordstown Assembly in Ohio and Oshawa Assembly in Ontario. President Trump says he's putting, quote, a lot of pressure on GM to keep the plants open. For NPR News, I'm Tracy Samilton.
An upstart to the week on Wall Street, where major stock market indices followed the global markets higher. The Dow was up 354 points today to 24,640. The NASDAQ rose 142 points today. You're listening to NPR.
Welcome back into our
Dose
of the Hey Techies show.
Well, slow
So
there,
glad
Bruce.
to have y'all all in and joining us on this
Monday.
the bookend to Thanksgiving. And Bruce talked about in the first hour where Bruce and I were just
Yeah, Guru, how was Thanksgiving?
just
Oh, it was
sharing our thoughts.
good. Spent time with family and did not go out and partake in the sales.
that's what Bruce was talking about.
Did you go partake?
no, not really.
I did online and
I did some online
went out.
shopping, but not. I didn't want to go out and fight the crowds.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
bought
not-
something a couple days before. Just I went like Friday night. I was passing through. I was like, I'll go ahead and go in and get the price match something that I bought a couple days ago.
the
just so I don't
longest-
have to
the-
go in.
The longest I waited was, I don't remember the exact time.
Oh, you ventured out.
Yeah, we went to the Leeds outlet. It was in the Old Navy store. It was a fairly long line. They had pretty good sales. I mean,
They
some of
usually-
their
they
store was
typically-
60% off. Some of their
60%
products
off.
were, yeah.
After they marked it up.
I know how that goes.
That's
I'm not ignorant.
they're constantly got so much percent off. It makes you wonder.
Yeah.
But there's other retailers do the same thing. It's just
But does Gap even exist anymore?
Yeah, there is a Gap, but now just not around here.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a Gap.
There's very few.
Yeah, there's less.
They've
Absolutely.
become
But
more
there was
exclusive
one down
than
there. I
their-
don't think I'm not even sure we went into the
I was
Gap.
gonna
I don't remember going in the
Is
Gap
there a
store.
Gap store there?
Yeah, I think there is.
No,
There's a
really?
Gap, I think there's a Gap Kids maybe. or-
there is
I
one.
thought there was.
There is.
How about that?
Last time I was there was been quite a while.
They've lost a lot of stores.
The store I would like to go in is Brooks Brothers and
Brooks
buy.
Brothers.
Yeah, I can't afford it. I'd love to have some of their clothes. Golly, it's just too expensive. I just can't
They
afford
don't
it.
have any doorbusters.
Doorbusters.
Even at that, I can't afford it. $90 for a shirt is just above. That's above. That's above my pay.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah.
No, but speaking of the parent company of Old Navy Gap, there was something I saw last week about they're going to close some more stores.
Some Gap stores. I
I wouldn't
There's
doubt
very
it.
many left to close. Is it just going to be Old Navy and Banana Republic? Is that all
They'll still have some Gap stores, but I mean, they're just all the brick and mortar retailers are suffering.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who
Which, I mean, I'm guilty of it because I can go shop online, but I do buy from some of these brands. I just buy it online. I just don't go to the store anymore.
I'll tell you who wasn't waiting for a doorbuster, and that's Logitech. They reportedly want to buy Plantronics for over $2 billion.
I just cannot. I just did not realize, I guess,
how much money they had. Because I was telling you before the show that they bought Blue microphones this year
I
for
did not realize that
$117 million. Which
Blue microphones.
I figured Blue was worth a little more than $117 million.
No, I don't know. I'm not. Couldn't be an analyst on that, so I have no idea.
But they bought Astro Gaming in 2017 for $85 million.
Astro Gaming.
Yeah, no clue. Jaybird and Cydic in 2016, they bought Jaybird for $50 and Cydic for $13 million. And in 2008, so that's going way back, bought Ultimate Ears for $34 million.
This almost sounds reminiscent. Well, not reminiscent. This almost sounds like patent purchasing to me.
Maybe.
It's almost like what Google does.
Maybe, but Plantronics would give them a foothold in a different market.
Because I mean, I know I'm not an industry insider by any means, so that I'm caveating that. But some of these names I haven't heard of. I mean, these are not big names.
Well, I've heard of Blue.
Yeah, Blue microphone. Yeah. But these others are not just the things you say off the tip of your tongue while you're talking to Cortana speaker at home.
That you got for $50.
Correct.
I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Man,
yeah, I was asked about it today too, whether I'd done that.
Well, if he's listening, I'll go ahead and tell you. I just
don't have any smart speakers at home except my phone.
I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's a good deal though.
It was a good deal. If I could change, if I could change who the digital assistant was, I would have done it.
Yeah,
I just couldn't do it. I cannot have.
You know what my wife said? Speaking of that, my wife did not know about Cortana. She said that name's too long. I said, really? Yeah. She says, I think that name is just too long for an assistant. You got a Cortana. I said, I never really thought about it that way. I just don't know.
It's 3 syllables.
She said, yeah, like Siri short,
Alexa
short.
It's 3.
It's 3.
Cortana. She just said that seemed long but I don't think. I think it rolls off the tongue.
I think the first thing I do when I install Windows on a computer is I turn off Cortana.
Every time it updates.
But I mean, it's like Bixby. Jeez, what a dumb. I'm
I
sorry.
have a Samsung device, so that solves that problem.
Well, my wife does, but she never uses that.
If one of our listeners out there, I wasn't going to share this. But if you're an illustrator, I've got a great idea for a cartoon.
Yes, you do.
And it would be all these digital assistants, Google and Alexa and Cortana and Bixby and who am I forgetting?
I think that's what you had.
Did I get them all? And then you, the person, you're all roommates together.
Yeah.
Living together. Did I get everybody? Google, Alexa, Cortana, Bixby. I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, Siri.
Yeah.
And I've already got personalities for all of them. I'm not going to share them on there. Personalities for each one of them that are perfect.
Well, you can only get Siri on an iPhone or an iOS product.
Sure.
What's a monopoly?
It absolutely is. They should allow Siri to be everywhere. Different product.
Hey,
that is Bruce at HeyTechiesShow.com.
But yeah, I've got a great idea. I can't draw for crap. But man, it'd be great, and I could probably do. I mean, we could probably get like Alexa and Cortana to do their.
Well,
own
legally,
voices.
we couldn't do any of it. I mean, you could.
Somebody could imitate it. We were pretty close. I think.
I mean, I don't think you could use those names.
Why not?
They probably trademarked.
They're trademarked, I'm sure. Not.
But it's famous, and it would be a parody.
Oh, it'd be hilarious.
And
well,
it
if
would
done
be
well, it'd
hilarious.
be hilarious.
Yes, I've got great ideas.
Yes, I'm sure you do. Yeah.
Oh man,
Change the name slightly.
It'll have to go straight to Netflix.
and there would be a running joke for Bixby. Oh man,
yeah,
I'll share it with you during
Bixby's always last to the market.
Yes, that's part of it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of other troubles that some companies are having, GM said they're going to halt production at several plants. You know, somebody had texted a list, and so earlier today that we were just sort of discussing, and the list of vehicles that they're saying they're going to discontinue is the Volt.
With a V.
Yeah, with a V, not with a B, the Volt. The Cruise Impala, which is, that's what I understand, the CT6, the XTS, and the LaCrosse.
Cadillac XTS.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that, over year over year, those vehicles total, let's see, it says in this article
so far this year, right?
Well, it said, hold on, altogether during the first 9 months of this year, okay, just the first 9 months of this year, GM sold almost 200,000 units, 199,591.
Of all those cars.
All those cars
combined.
So how many models is that again?
There's
Hold on.
6.
Let's see it would be the Volt,
the
Cruise Impala, the CT6, the XTS, and the LaCrosse.
Those 6.
Okay, so almost 200,000 units in 9 months.
Okay,
that they're going to discontinue.
That's of those 6 models,
right?
Yeah.
But even with that amount, that's less than half of the Chevy Silverado sales. Less than half.
So the Silverado, one vehicle,
outsold all of
6 other vehicles.
More than double outsold.
More than double.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the end of the story that you find that
Chevy Silverado. That's one good old truck.
Well, that's one of the most popular models.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
But they have other trucks too, and those
yeah,
they
have the
Colorado.
They have the Colorado, and then the GMC has their own brands of
Colorado's overpriced. Golly, that's crazy. New cars are crazy priced anyway.
Yes,
but that's a shame. I
have heard
with crappy software.
I have heard that they're going to ramp up electric vehicle production.
That was in this article too.
But you said one of them was the Impala. They've had that car for a long time.
So I'm kind of surprised that.
And that's kind of your.
Well, that's what this article says. If it's wrong, I can only go on.
The Impala is more like a mid-size sedan. I mean, those I thought were doing fairly well.
And I'm going to say I'm surprised that, and I would think the Impala probably made up the largest portion of those sales.
No, actually, the Cruise did at 109.
The Cruise is a little bit small. They're the
109,662.
So I would say most of those were probably fleet sales.
Yeah.
Same thing with Impala. I would think most of those are fleet sales for rental cars and police.
The Impala
cruisers.
was 43,952, 43,952.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
According to this, now that was.
Yeah.
Which one of those get the best gas mileage?
None of them.
Out of those 6.
Oh. Probably the Cruise.
Either the Cruise or the Bolt.
The Volt.
Well, that's a hybrid. You can't. It's kind of in a different league.
Yeah. I wouldn't count them.
Take that one out.
Take that one out. Cruise probably gets the best gas mileage.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
It's a compact car.
But also the price points are different on the Cadillacs.
Fair.
Well, yeah, it's a luxury brand. I mean, you can't,
So, I mean, you have to figure that in too, and the difference in sales. But,
they go pretty fast.
I've heard that. I've never driven a Cadillac, so I don't know.
Man. They drive like a Cadillac.
Yeah, right. Well, when the Hey Techies show returns, we will move on. We got rumors coming up soon, so don't miss out.
Do we?
And call in
256-782-5600.
and you can be on the show with us. Hey Techies Show.
What's a pear tree? Please don't ask me. Some Reliant K, man. Brings back some memories.
You'll keep listening to it?
Which one?
Oh, we could. We could listen to this
Which
whole time.
memories?
Good ones.
Okay.
Great memories.
That one was for you, Bruce. I know you always
Appreciate
always like some good old Reliant K Christmas music.
That's
so
right.
Nice little variety tonight.
It is good variety.
Get us in the Christmas spirit because this Thursday night, a little PSA here, the Jacksonville Christmas Parade. This Thursday night. Right
Did
here.
not realize that. I'm sure
Yes.
somebody else in this room did as he's typing away.
They're
Yes, my son is marching in the parade, so I did know about it.
Last time.
That's correct.
Yeah.
In a Jacksonville uniform, Jacksonville High School. That's correct,
Yeah.
and probably forever because he's just really not interested in doing it anymore. So.
and if you are there, look for the Pleasant Valley marching band.
There you go.
You may see one Hey Techies personality walking with them.
I'm sure you will.
You may very well.
I didn't agree to be in this.
I said, man,
he didn't say talent personality. He said a personality.
Man. So
no,
you
but
know,
it starts at 6:30.
we-
So if I suggest getting down to there early for a good spot.
we have picked at Microsoft several times tonight.
I can pick at them. I got a story this week that happened to me with Microsoft and their
Well-
poor customer service. But anyway,
Yeah, we could go on a lot about them. But what's the deal with them possibly catching up with Apple in the market, being the most
Yeah, I
valuable
saw
company?
that. Well, I think part of that is the volatility of what Apple's been going through. As far as sales and the questions that are all surrounded that, although I think some of that's just a little bit too early to tell. A lot of the times I think some of the early assumptions about Apple sales have usually generally been wrong and proven wrong later on.
Yeah.
I think you got to be careful with that. I don't
Well,
know.
I'll say if Microsoft, man, here we go picking on them. They keep it up with these updates, just killing everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but I think that this is still synonymous, possibly with how Microsoft has changed and over the many years. I mean, they're really everything is a service now, and they push that market, which I understand. They're making a killing off that market now, and it's become a huge business.
They just need to polish.
well,
But as one
Polish.
right. Well, go ahead,
no,
Guru.
but also, yeah. But think about this. Say a decade ago, we would have never fathomed that Microsoft being this huge in services. Probably wouldn't even fathom that the cloud would be such a big deal as it is now. But one thing that, cloud aside, Microsoft, I mean, look where they're at with hardware. I mean, a decade ago, they weren't even, that was not their thing. They were like, we're not doing hardware. I mean, they did software. That was their whole
they've
business.
tried a few things,
But
small devices,
but Microsoft's done very well with hardware
lately. But
Yeah,
now some of their small stuff is late to the market.
I mean, they were late with the phone. I mean, that's
but
we
and other
discussed-
things. But but as far as you're talking about their PC line,
but their
or
PC
the laptop line,
all their mobile products in terms of
Mobile,
like
yeah.
their not mobile, like their phones are awful. But so,
no, I know what you're talking.
sorry,
about.
Andrew, but the Surface line, the Surface Book,
Yeah,
Surface
right.
Pro, Surface laptop, all the different Surface things. And the Surface Studio is their big like desktop. Some folks rave about those. I've never personally used one long enough to have an opinion, but I'm sitting here with a Surface Book in front of me, and some family members I know are getting Surface Gos for Christmas. So I think Microsoft's done itself very well. I mean, somebody was asking me the other day, hey, I'm looking at getting a laptop for my child. I said, get a Surface. Now, how much do you want to spend? If you want to go on more of the budget friendly, Surface Go. If you've got a little more money in your budget, you want to get something a little more robust. I mean, look at some of the other Surface products, because I've been very happy with my Surface Book. And I think this is the most superior PC laptop you can buy today. And that's a couple of years ago, I wouldn't have given, I would never thought I would say that. More of the mainstream line. lines.
The Microsoft book
What?
for what it is,
I think it's good. I mean, now if you want something
a
super,
hybrid.
if you want super high performance, like you need this, like you want like a gaming desktop replacement. No, it's probably not going to be the best thing
Yeah.
for you. But for the average person, somebody needs it just for doing their job, doing average things. It works great.
Yeah, I think they could save money. I don't need the tablet portion of this.
No,
How often do you find yourself?
I don't undock it, but I like the form factor of the Surface Book. But
Yeah.
I don't undock it very infrequently.
I can't tell you the last time I undocked this.
Just now.
Just now.
That'd be the last time.
But
The
I
last
like
time before just now.
the Surface laptop. I did not. I kind of test drove one of those, and I wasn't a fan. And that one you can't undock, and you will save some money.
And I'll say this too: the last time I did this to use it like this,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up having to reboot it because the pen wouldn't work because of updates.
Yeah,
that was
that's the big deal now.
that was maybe close to 2 years ago.
Let's see.
I mean, the latest updates have.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad.
So you say when
It's
you
a good
when you
product.
redock it, the pen quit working?
the
no,
latest
no.
updates
When I went to go use it,
have found out that some of the 32-bit apps are not working like they should,
or at all.
And particularly one that was found to be problematic was Windows Media Player, where it wasn't working properly
at all.
And also along those lines, there are still some audio cards and video chipsets from Intel that are not playing well
at all
with Microsoft, the latest version of Microsoft, and they warn people. Also, while we were gone, the update was also found to break iCloud accounts. The iCloud sync on a Windows product. I don't use that, but people who did were told not to update if they did have that product because it was breaking it. So, I mean, it's just things like this that are frustrating to the consumer.
Well, and I've said this before. I think the root cause of all these, we've seen a high increase in the number of bugs that have kind of been more pain points for consumers. And a lot of it's because of how software companies, Microsoft included, are developing software, the agile methodology. I mean, you go look that up if you're not familiar with it, but the end result of agile is you release more frequently. And a lot of the testing is automated. But so it doesn't go through as thorough a testing, in my opinion. Well, or that too.
But as one article I read pointed out that there are Microsoft insiders, and they do test the product, and they do give back feedback.
They tell them,
and several of these bugs, including the one where it deleted people's data, was told to Microsoft. It was a bug, was a tracked bug, and they knew about it. They had to know about it, or they just ignored it.
They just said, we don't believe you.
Yeah,
we're moving on. And I think a lot of that is probably product management pushing the release calendar.
Well, it's possible. I mean,
it
would be speculation.
It is speculation, but I mean, I that's my opinion.
It could be. I honestly wouldn't know.
I wouldn't either, but it's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, I got one rumor. If you want to put it, if you want to do it,
yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Well, the only rumor I really have, and it's the rumor part of this is, will this ever come to light? But LG is said to have patented, shows off plans for 16 camera smartphone.
When 2 cameras is not enough.
When 2 cameras are not enough.
Or a bendable phone is not enough.
That's
give
correct.
You 16 cameras.
Yes. And what this may do is,
and you get a camera, and you get a camera, Bruce, and I get a camera, and everybody gets a camera.
Somebody said it's like Oprah Winfrey. Yeah. What this one drawing showed that people would be able to manipulate photos in 3D.
Ooh.
So
3D.
like you would be able, like it would take a 3D, you know, that was one theory. So
I
and
could see
part
that.
of this is, let's see, there's a Korean firm, a recently filed patent from the Korean firm, first spotted by Let's Go Digital, shows a smartphone with 16 lenses on the back. And they believe that possibly
It's like the whole back of the phone is nothing but a camera.
yeah, it's 4 by 4. Cameras by 4 cameras.
4 by, almost all the back, part of the
yeah,
back.
seems
some of the back.
Of course, now it could be very small. The LG V40 ThinQ is one of several smartphones to come with a triple rear camera setup.
Triple camera.
They have a triple camera.
Triple threat.
Yeah, but what they're saying that they could have one that is arranged for, I don't know. I don't even, I mean, I can see what you'd use it for, but here again, this is one of those things, in my opinion, that is totally niche. I mean, this would be, and plus it would be expensive. I guess once you put
it's the race to have the first $5,000 smartphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're off. They've been off.
Yeah, they've been off
for at least the last year since the iPhone 10.
They're saying that
who will be first?
They're saying that camera maker Light,
let's put 16 cameras in it,
introduced the L16, a multi-aperture computational camera.
That sounds expensive.
I agree. That features 16 lenses. This was back in 2015. So they're saying that you know, this is not something that is brand new. So that it's possible that you could see a handset maybe with this product in it. So we'll see. As I said, it's not a big rumor here, but I don't know.
And very slow on the rumor front this week, I will say.
Well, that's because Apple's in possible trouble. So it's the rumor is, will they be found to be a monopoly, and will Bruce be totally right? That is the rumor.
I'll be right.
And will there have to be
don't get Bruce started.
And will there have to be a new app store? And if so,
I don't think there will
it
have
be
to be a new
free?
app store. There'll have to be the ability to have a new app store.
Okay.
It's gonna be like,
and not even a store. At least that I can download it straight from
Joe Bob's
developer's website.
Yeah, Joe Bob's developer's website.
It's gonna be like Ralph Wrecks the Internet.
Sure.
That movie just came out. I went and saw it this weekend. That was it's very good.
Guru gives it 2 thumbs up.
Well, thumb and a half. I mean,
thumb and a half.
Thumb and a big toe.
There we go.
I went with my nephews, and they thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was a cute movie. And I'm not one to really go watch movies that often, but it was good. Wish I had some sound bites from that movie. That'd be some good stuff to play right now. Anyway.
I sure hope you have some stories.
I do have some. Let me look at them here, because I've done very little prep, unfortunately.
Well, you were taking care of some things.
Yeah, but here's one. So the first we just passed Black Friday. I know y'all mentioned that at the very beginning of the show. I kind of caught a quick earshot of it. We talked about it briefly, but did you know that over a third of online Black Friday purchases came from phones this year?
A third people did while on their phones.
Over a third of online Black Friday purchases came from phones.
I know one person that was doing that for sure.
If you spent Black Friday, this is from Engadget. If you spent Black Friday hunting for deals on your smartphone, you're not alone. Adobe analysts have determined that just over a third, 33.5% of online Black Friday sales were completed on smartphones, a large uptick from the 29.1% just 1 year earlier. And people are willing to splurge as well. There were over 2.1 billion in sales, a leap from the previous record set on Cyber Monday, not Black Friday.
Yeah, did y'all notice any kind of big? I mean, I guess
we mentioned some last week, and I mean, nothing really caught my eye.
I'm sure there was today. I mean,
I will say, Ted pointed out today that Newegg had some like 1 terabyte solid state drives for like around $100.
Yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, I don't know. Newegg.
Yeah,
It's just starting to get
it
iffy.
is. It really is, and I hate that because we reported last week. We reported about the Windows keys.
Yes, we did.
Right.
And they had those on sale too.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Had
The
home
problem
and the Pro.
The problem is, will they work?
Yeah. I almost bought a terabyte, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna save and I'm gonna build a new computer and I'll just do it then.
I'm still saving up for my Mac Mini. I have not
Mac King?
purchased yet.
Oh.
I'm holding out a little bit longer.
Did you know, Bruce, and Guru's got this story, Ohio is the first state to accept Bitcoin
I
for
was about to mention that. Go
paying
ahead.
business taxes. Well, I don't have it up. I
Yeah,
just read
yeah.
the headline.
So,
Wow.
yeah. So Ohio,
Ohio.
and there's some legal uncertainty here too surrounding cryptocurrency, but Ohio is pressing forward. They're being very progressive. As of this week, they're the first state to accept Bitcoin for paying tax bills.
Pay it now.
Yeah, really. The Wall Street Journal notes that this will be limited to business purposes, and it isn't going directly to Ohio's coffers. An Atlanta firm, BitPay, converts the virtual cash into dollars first. However, it can still be much more convenient for shops that take Bitcoin and would rather not exchange the format just to cover their sales tax payments. So it's just for businesses. So if you live in Ohio and you've got some other tax bill to pay with the state, you can't use Bitcoin, unfortunately. It's just for businesses.
Oh, just for businesses.
Yeah, so like if business had to remit their
right
sales tax and stuff to the state, they could use their Bitcoin. And if you accept Bitcoin, you could just use your Bitcoin to pay your sales tax.
I got it. There's got to be an insider reason for this. I mean, there's got to be.
I don't know. They're a swing state. Maybe that's something to do with it. I don't know. Not trying to throw politics into it, but excuse me.
I think maybe there's another.
So I got something else here. I know I'm just running through these like really quick.
That's fine.
But there have been online pay-per-view's been around for a long time.
Sure.
And online pay-per-view has been around since price streaming existed. But there's still some problems. So there was a one-on-one golf match between Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. It was nicknamed The Match. I don't follow golf that much, and so I apologize if I sound like I'm not reading this right or I'm uninterested, because I'm interested in the story here. But there was some glitches around people that were trying to pay to watch this one-on-one golf match, The Match, as they're calling it. So it was back on November 23rd, so this past weekend, this occurred. So the company, Turner, I think was the company, Turner's Bleacher Report. Yeah. They were having issues with it, and they were forced to offer a live stream for this because of the technical glitches behind the whole payment and the whole system to, basically, I guess, divvy out the rights to watch that you paid for it. So,
right.
And they told the company also told Variety in a statement they had taken a number of steps to fix the issue, including the free stream to please customers. However, not everyone was happy with the freebie, though. Comcast said it was proactively offering refunds to Xfinity cable subscribers who paid for the golf showdown, since they could have tuned in at no charge. I butchered that sentence as well. It also pressured Turner to do the same, knowing that there were barriers to watching through his website. So a little technical snafu kind of it's costing all around, unfortunately.
Huh.
It is here. The thing is, like, it's almost to the point you expect stuff to work. And it's like if you go, for example, you go and make a purchase online tonight, Cyber Monday still. And they start having technical glitches,
sure.
Like, oh my gosh,
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I'm sure some have.
Or the next big, I'm thinking something that's more time sensitive, like you want to buy tickets to some concert and they go on sale at a certain time, and you try to go buy them at that time, and like the website just goes down. It's like, oh my gosh, I get it.
Yeah. Did you guys see that the InSight landed on Mars today?
Yes, as one person, let me read this tweet. Let me find it. I know who tweeted it. So go ahead.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up. Just give me a
landed, I'm thinking they said about 1:57 our time or somewhere in the neighborhood. 1:58.
Yeah, it was about close to 2:00 Central.
Yeah.
You know, and NASA streamed it live, which they didn't have live.
I saw the replay.
They didn't have video of it. They just had
No.
from the control center at the JPL, the
Correct.
Jet Propulsion Laboratory.
And they would clap every time a new
milestone, like the parachute
milestone,
deployed, or this happened, that happened.
Or they'd get a number back, and it would mean this or mean that. And then and some of the things was pretty coded, so you didn't necessarily always know exactly.
They knew though.
They knew.
They were excited.
And they were excited. Absolutely were.
So I saw this tweet earlier from one of my friends on Twitter, and I just chuckled. There's going to be a lot of drunk nerds at NASA JPL tonight. Congratulations, you deserve the drinks. #Mars Inside #Mars. Yeah, and that's, I mean, just think about that. They launched this, I guess you call it a probe,
correct,
rover, whatever, this spacecraft, launched it off this planet. And they had to time it, of course, to make it to where it would reach Mars and all that stuff. But then it had to deorbit. It had to deorbit, or I guess deorbit, whatever. It had to enter Martian atmosphere. You know, it's barreling speed. And it has to bleed off all that velocity.
Oh yeah, and
land. And it's all doing this remotely,
right,
and somewhat autonomously. Because I mean, I think they can control it, but there's a lag obviously between communicating. So just think about all that it takes to do that.
They had to have it programmed to do steps. Do this then, do this when. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just amazing. And they've got this rover thing on another planet.
Yeah, and it's at one of the poles.
Is that where it's at?
Yeah,
I haven't really read up on it that much.
I can't remember if it's the southern or northern, but that's where it's at.
And I was joking with a colleague at work today. We were talking about this after it happened, and I said, yeah, here in a couple of years, Elon Musk is going to just be flying it in himself. Like, hang on, I got this.
No, I think the rover's there to find where they're going to put Elon's home, his summer home up there. On
he said there's a 70% chance he's going.
That's why I said it. Man, I wish that was more like 80 to 90% chance that he's going.
Why?
I just really would. Did you see that NASA is wanting to do a complete health investigation of SpaceX, basically?
No.
Part of it, people believe that they want to know how much pot he smokes. That was one of the stories.
What, that Musk?
Yeah.
But he's not the one like building the whole rocket and everything. I mean, he's in charge of it, but he's got all these people working for him.
I know that, but
he's just the CEO.
I know that, but that's what it disturbs.
It sounds like he's going to have another company. He's not going to be able
listen
to
me. This article, I have an
article.
Yeah, this article was well written, I thought, because, and I'm just paraphrasing here. They have in NASA, in particularly, they have a no drug policy whatsoever. I mean, there isn't even, to my knowledge and understanding, they don't bend the rules for anybody for any reason.
Yeah, I mean,
they have and so that bothered them. I understand. You have people that are core people that are traditionalist, and they have that at NASA. I'm sure, been there a long time. You just don't do this, and you don't allow this, whatever this is, and that's one theory that they initiated this safety inspection of the entire.
They want to check everybody.
Yeah, that's my understanding. But some are saying that they believe it was tipped off or started based off that pot interview that he had. That started this whole ball of wax rolling. So, anyway. But old Elon. Elon also was in the news a lot.
Oh, Muskie.
Yeah, he was. He said that he thinks humans will have to merge with machines to overcome their next existential threat, AI.
Now say again.
We're going to have to merge with machines.
Well, they're already doing that with some
we're going to have
shipyards.
Humans are merging with machines.
Yeah.
Oh.
They have like.
I mean, like you're
stuff.
putting.
No.
Well, that's what he's talking about.
Well, baby steps.
I'm not merging.
No merge.
They've got.
I'm not.
They've got things you wear to help you pick up more, and it doesn't put any strain on your body. You haven't seen those?
Yeah, I've seen them.
They're pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is it already? Oh no, we've got another break. I was like, it's already in.
No, it's not the end.
We're
but
close.
The end is getting closer. The end will be getting closer. Hey, Techie Show. Be right back.
Well, welcome back in to the last segment of Hey Techies for tonight.
For
For the whole year.
No,
it's
no,
over.
for November.
Yeah, for November.
For November,
that's
yes.
true.
And little extended bumper there with David Archuleta.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
I love Christmas.
So I cannot find the article, but there was a headline with something about some Chinese company possibly made a breakthrough in maybe solid state batteries or something.
Yeah, it seems like you've said something about this before.
Did I?
Is this the one bendable?
No,
it's something different.
That's
okay.
something totally different.
Okay.
Man, I can't find it. I didn't pull it up because basically, and you can get your button ready for this. I think this.
What? No, we're not repeating it.
I
No,
think-
please don't.
No, it's not the going green. It's the fake news.
Oh, I thought you were saying the curse
I
button.
want to go green.
Oh
too.
no, not that button.
Well, no,
not
please
that
don't.
button.
Please. don't.
Because I think all they're wanting to do is get all these investors have a bunch of money and say, oh no, it didn't work. I really do, because I don't think they've
I
made
see
a
what you're
breakthrough.
saying.
Because if I will say this, because if they made a breakthrough, they stole it from somebody. I'm so sick and tired of the Chinese stealing everything.
What?
Man. Dude, that's all they do is steal. There's so much just intellectual theft going on by the Chinese government. It's ridiculous. Don't call me Shirley.
It's good timing,
It
Guru.
was good timing. He's had that one queued up for a while.
Yes, he has.
No, it's just good luck on my part.
I'm serious, man. It's just
I know.
I've got to stop reading stuff about. I wonder if I can filter out news. Like, don't show me any of that.
Just stay off the internet.
Yeah,
There you go.
about the only
Pretty
thing
much
that-
because every day you read something about some Chinese corporation stole something. We have the most innovative people in the world, and they're being ripped off.
Yeah. What about this? Fights break out at Bank of America ATM in Texas. It keeps spitting out $100 bills when you ask for a 20.
Oh wow, that's a pretty good deal. Get a 80% return, $80 return on investment.
Why did more than the first person?
There
know
you
that?
go. See, that was my initial question. Yeah, how did this get known? How did this get known?
I want all the 20s, please.
Yes.
All the 20s.
I was trying to figure that one out.
Well,
How-
this is what it is. This going green.
No, yeah, it was.
It's
Yeah, it's
never
definitely
going
going
green.
green.
Oh man.
This article says it was the kind of glitch that no one complains about. For about 2 hours late Sunday night into Monday morning, an ATM near Houston was spitting out $100 bills instead of 20s to people who would drew cash.
This is Bank of America, right?
That's what it said.
Do y'all have Bank of America?
No.
I want to say they do $10 bills. A lot of banks only do 20s.
Yeah, but
Yes.
ours here, the regions here
Yeah.
on campus, it does 10. My wife says that is abnormal, that most of them don't.
Yeah.
do
I will
10.
say your
But
credit unions will do 10s and 20s.
I know of an ATM that does $1 bills.
Ooh.
Oh.
Is it near the club you like to get to?
No, that's good though. I didn't think about that.
Oh,
No, it's
my-
near it. It's a regions ATM, and it's near a
Club.
no. It's near a break room
Okay.
where the employees. It's at like a downtown regions.
Okay.
It's at like the
Almost.
headquarters or something. I think. or
But
one
for
of-
that to happen though, somebody had to load the cassette. There's a big cassette that holds those bills. And
They
they
load it with 100s.
because when I worked in retail,
Old Santa Claus.
when I worked in retail, we had those self
Here's
checkout
the
machines
di-
at the store I worked at, and it was a cassette for
Yeah.
like 20s, 5s, and 1s, or 10s, 5s, and 1, whatever. And you had to make sure you put the right denomination right
right.
cassette.
Here's
or
the kick.
That's what
kicker.
happened.
I'm wondering if that is what happened. A line of cars quickly formed in several arguments and fights among the crowd that gathered.
I didn't use this
at the
ATM right now.
Machine were
Get out of the
reported.
way right now.
Apparently, they say that deputies with Harris County Sheriff's Office arrived in the shop.
They needed to use
In the
Step aside.
yeah, they needed
This is a
some
police
in the
normal
shopping center
police
parking lot.
function here.
They say around 1 a.m. Then they reported the glitch to Bank of America, and they shut the machine down.
after they lost how much money.
I don't know. It doesn't say.
Probably
That's-
quite a bit.
Please, excuse me. Got to get some money. Excuse me. This is official police matter.
Yeah.
Did you bring your debit card?
Well, did you bring any debit card?
That's
I
true.
mean, you could probably accept the charges at that point if you're making $100 off of $20.
yeah, that's great.
I mean, I'm not for this
like,
because
I
it
will-
is bad.
I will
but-
take $1,000.
Correct.
All in 20s, please.
Yes, all in 20s. Yes.
And it's a Bank of America. I think you can do deposits there. So maybe you could deposit the money back if it didn't. give you
Well,
what
but
you
it
wanted.
wouldn't. Yeah, that's true. That's-
No, deposit the money back. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Yes.
deposited $100
Yeah,
and
I
withdrew 20.
think that might be questionable.
Yeah, I think they would catch on to that.
Would they though?
Of course, at 1 a.m., I don't know. But
It's-
those things are watched. You people who think that those cameras are not watched, that's just they are watched, by the way.
after something happens.
Well, yes, but they are spot watched, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, after something happens, for sure, yeah. And you can't watch all of them, obviously. But maybe Google could,
Yeah.
because or a police department or what have you. I don't know, because those people have got nothing better to do than just sit around and watch video. I don't know. Well, that's what people believe. I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I can't tell how many times I've been
people
thought
need,
of what I do here.
people need jobs.
Yeah. The Hey Techies Show wishes you all the best